Hey guys, and welcome to the dating game with Troy Francis. So I have an email today that's come through from a lady who watches the show, and she has said, "Hi Troy, good to see your content on YouTube. As always, I have been dating this guy for about 3 weeks now, and he's great, but he always insists on splitting the bill. What does this mean, and what should I do about it?" Signed, and I won't say her name for privacy reasons, but who pays on the first date? It's the ultimate age-old question, and it shouldn't really be a question at all because obviously the answer is the guy should pay on the first date or the early dates, right? I mean, there should be no equivocation around this whatsoever. And as I've said in another video, if a guy is trying to split the bill with you or get you to pay or do any kind of funny stuff, then really he's not a guy that you want to be dealing with. And is that about money? Well, partly, maybe, but not totally. I'll explain why. The truth of the matter is, depending on what you do for the date, okay, and I would always recommend that people go for drinks on an early date. I don't really think you want to be going for dinner. It's kind of too formal. You're stuck in the place for like an hour, 90 minutes minimum, and it's just too sort of sitting over a table. It's not very romantic necessarily. It just doesn't really work particularly well necessarily. So I would recommend don't go for dinners. But if you're talking about going for what I normally do, which is go to a lounge, go for a couple of drinks or whatever, this is not a huge investment of money. Okay, this is not some significant sum of capital that he has to part with in order to do that date, or even more if you go for a coffee. I mean, I don't necessarily recommend coffee dates, but you can do it depending on the circumstances. We're not talking about some huge capital investment that he has to make in order to make that date happen. Okay. In the big scheme of things, it is a relatively low amount of money. And also, it is the price of doing business, let's say, right? He has presumably been the one to ask you out. Or at least he should have been. He's the guy who's doing the running. He's the man who is leading this thing. Okay. And hopefully he's going to lead it in the right direction. So you guys both enter into something that is satisfying and fulfilling for both of you. Okay. And if he starts off that process by quibbling over who's going to pay a bill for $60 or $100 or $150, that's not a great baseline to start from. Okay. Now, I don't care really about your political persuasions or how you think things should go down between the genders and everything like that. I just think as a point of common courtesy, all right, the guy should be the one who is handling the finances on the first finances. I mean, I mean, the guy should be the one who's paying the bill on the first day. All right, like, I just think it's the way things should go down. I think that he is setting the tone for the rest of the interaction. Now, for the most part, obviously, women, yes, sometimes looking for casual fun or whatever, but they're looking for fun. Even then, they're looking for fun with a guy who is of some value. Okay. And a guy who isn't even of sufficient value to handle a bill without causing a ruckus about it in the restaurant or in the bar is not really the kind of dude that you want to tie yourself to. Certainly not for anything long term, and not really even for a short term thing. Because when you think about short term mating, right? Why does short term mating take place? Well, really, it takes place because on a biological level, the woman is looking to be impregnated by a guy of superior genetic value. Okay. Well, a brokey who's quibbling over a bill is unlikely to be of superior genetic value. Now, I'm not saying that women will always go out to have sex in order to procreate, because obviously that's not the case. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we're biologically programmed. All right. So even for a short term thing, really, is this the kind of guy you want to be dealing with? And certainly for anything longer term. And it's not because you are a gold digger, or it's not because you are only looking for money. I mean, you might be, but I'm not, that's for you to know. But what I'm saying, it doesn't have to be about that. But it's just like, look, you want a guy who's got his shit together. Okay. You want a guy who is not just messing around with nonsense like this. The important thing of an early date is for you guys to get to know one another, and crucially, for there to be a vibe between the two of you established, okay? Right, for there to be chemistry and electricity that is sparked between the two of you. And really, a lot of the running needs to be done by him. And this is when we coach male clients. We'll talk to male clients about, okay, so how do you do this? How do you bring out that kind of vibe between the two of you? So really, it needs to be him that's doing that. But whatever. You sit there and you're establishing, okay, is there a vibe between us? Is there a chemistry? The other stuff, like the formalities of where to go, where to sit down, who's going to pay, and all that kind of stuff, he should be taking care of all of that. All right, he should be taking care of all of that, because the important thing is not that. The important thing is what's happening between the two of you, okay? And if he's going to obscure that or kind of allow other external things like paying bills and money and so on to get in the way of that, then he's also a fucking idiot, okay? And that's another reason why you should avoid this guy like the plague. He's not somebody that you want to be getting intimate with, okay? It's a red flag. So no, 100%. He should be the one who's paying the bill. I would suggest that you drop this guy's ass, because I don't think he's good enough for you. I think you could do better. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe some of you guys out there think differently. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please do hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And give me a like. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.